And now, from 12 Studios, this is News 12 Now.
Today is Wednesday, March 20th. Welcome to News 12 Now. I'm Kylee Dedmon. New on News 12 Now, Southwest Airlines has reached a tentative agreement on a new contract with union flight attendants. Details were not released today about the deal, covering about 20,000 attendants at the Dallas-based airline. The Southwest attendants rejected a previous deal in December that would have given them an immediate raise of 20%, followed by 4 annual raises of 3%. The union's president, Lynn Montgomery, said the union will detail the agreement to members in meetings starting Monday, and voting will begin in a few weeks. The major airlines set records for quarterly revenue last year as travel rebounded strongly from the pandemic. A hunting and fishing license bill authored by Durant Senator David Bullard is now headed to Governor Kevin Stitt's desk. Senate Bill 941 changes the age cutoff for fishing and hunting licenses. Teens will no longer have to get a license until they turn 18 instead of 16. It also simplifies fees and includes some fee increases related to the licenses. The fees support the Oklahoma Department of Wildlife, which receives no general tax revenues. Once signed by Governor Stitt, the law goes into effect July 1st. The federal government is unveiling rules that relax requirements for electronic vehicles and car emissions for the time being. This morning, the Alliance for Automotive Innovation called the new target a stretch goal, but one that should give the market and supply chains a chance to catch up. President Biden also weighing in, saying this is a step toward the U.S. leading the world in making clean cars and trucks. Fox's Caroline Shiley has details from Washington.
After last year's unveiling comes this week's rollback from the Biden administration involving auto emission standards and mileage ratings for electric vehicles.
We're executing a focused, deliberate strategy that positions us to become energy independent and energy secure.
On Tuesday, the Department of Energy softened rules proposed last April that would have given automakers more fuel economy credits for producing electric vehicles. The Sierra Club says the auto industry has been overstating the miles per gallon efficiency of EVs for 2 decades, allowing them to make more gas-powered cars and still meet federal fuel efficiency standards. Republicans say the rollback is a major win for consumers and the big 3 automakers who said they couldn't meet the standards and would face $10 billion in fines over the next 8 years.
We want our gas-powered vehicles.
Separately, the Environmental Protection Agency on Wednesday is relaxing vehicle emission standards through 2030, lowering the original goal of EVs making up 60% of new cars. While the 2 new sets of rules affect electric and gas vehicles, it could be hybrids that come out the winner.
When you let market forces go to play, you end up with the compromise, which right now looks like the hybrid option for many, many, many consumers.
Climate groups and automaker Tesla have said the EPA should have imposed even stricter rules. In Washington, Caroline Shively, Fox News.
Happy first full day of spring, Texoma. Hopefully it's been all right so far. It was a little bit warmer this morning across the area. No frost or freeze, which is great news. Still a little bit chilly though. Temperatures were in the 40s and 50s. So I think it's pretty safe to say that we've arrived at actual spring here on the wide, long list of Texoma's 12 seasons. Of course, we've got plenty more spring to go. At least today we are on the good side of it with some high clouds here and there. Temperatures in the 70s and a light southerly breeze. It's going to be pleasant. I would say definitely get out and enjoy it today if you can, because rain returns tomorrow. And actually, we have another chance as we head into next week. So kind of see the stormier side of things here as we go to the next couple days. Back to you, Kylie.
Thank you, Brian. Well, new details about efforts to get trapped Americans out of Haiti as the nation experiences civil and political turmoil. Fox News correspondent Jillian Turner is at the State Department with the latest.
We are exploring options for American citizens to depart Haiti from Port-au-Prince.
The State Department, facing intense pressure from Americans stranded in Haiti, says they're now looking for a way to evacuate U.S. citizens via helicopter. As officials scramble to put those plans in place, members of Congress have begun taking matters into their own hands. Republican Corey Mills says his office has rescued 23 Americans.
You've got this deputy spokesman saying it's their top priority for the safety and security, but it's not. It is not their top priority. If it was, they would have actually been starting flights out of the Cap-Haitian.
The State Department responding with this warning.
Operations like these that are sort of done deviating from formal State Department operations, they can be high risk. We're talking about a country that's been a level 4 do not travel country since 2020.
Some U.S. citizens unwilling to risk waiting are fleeing Haiti on foot.
Dominican immigration officials tell Fox at least 359 Americans have left Haiti through this border crossing since March 1st. It's a 6-hour drive from Haiti's gang-controlled capital. The State Department warning Americans to travel at their own risk and keep a low profile.
Even during today's congressional hearing on the U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan, the fate of those Americans hoping to get out of Haiti very much on lawmakers' minds.
And I hope, Mr. Chairman, we can soon get a classified briefing on the situation going on there.
The Biden administration's last evacuation of American citizens from Haiti was now more than 3 days ago. There were no evacuations of Americans today, and the State Department says those helicopter rescue missions could move forward as soon as this week. At the State Department, Jillian Turner, Fox News.
A change in leadership to tell you about. Less than a week after the Irish Prime Minister visited the United States for St. Patrick's Day, Leo Varadkar says he is stepping down as the head of his party and the country. Varadkar making the surprise announcement today, saying he will step down soon as his party picks a new leader. At this point, Varadkar plans to remain in Parliament, working as a backbench lawyer. He is Ireland's first openly gay prime minister, biracial Taoiseach, and was the youngest leader when he was first elected. And Varadkar isn't the only international leader stepping down. Vietnamese President Vo Van Thuong is stepping down after just over a year on the job. The Vietnamese Communist Party approved his resignation today, writing in a statement that, quote, violations by Vo Van Thuong have left a bad mark on the reputation of the Communist Party, end quote. 54-year-old Thuong became president in March 2023, 2 months after his predecessor resigned over corruption scandals during the pandemic. The president holds a largely ceremonial role, but is one of the top 4 political positions in the Southeast Asian nation. Tuesday, the Supreme Court kicked an argument over a Texas immigration law back to the courts. The decision allowed the law to immediately go into effect, but that reprieve lasted only a few hours. Natalie Brand has more details from Washington, D.C.
Texas law enforcement for now cannot detain migrants suspected of entering the country illegally after an appeals court paused a new state law while it hears arguments on the matter today.
Texas has invoked the authority provided to us in Article 1, Section 10 of the United States Constitution to declare an invasion and for Texas to defend ourselves.
Texas Senate Bill 4 would not only allow state authorities to make arrests, but it could allow state judges to issue deportation orders. Sheriff Martin Cuellar of Webb County, Texas, says he has concerns.
We're not immigration officers, and we have to get trained to make sure that we are following the rule of the law.
Attorney Kathleen Bush Joseph with the Migration Policy Institute says she's worried about confusion on the ground and the legal precedent it could set.
Talk about what you think the implications of this bill could be if it were to take effect.
This would absolutely be a sea change. For over a century, the Supreme Court has upheld the principle that the federal government sets immigration policy.
While the fight plays out in the courts, Mexico's government has already said it will not accept under any circumstances people deported by the state of Texas. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Washington.
An alleged 3-person bank robbery crew has been taken into custody in Houston. They're being called the Little Rascals. All 3 are under the age of 17, with the youngest being just 11 years old. As Jessica Wiley reports, their parents turned 2 of them in.
This is one of the first times I recall seeing that.
The trio, so young the FBI called them Little Rascals. Last Thursday, releasing photos and guessing they were between the ages of 14 and 18. today announcing their arrests and revealing their young ages, just 16, 12, and 11 years old.
The age of the younger two who have been alleged to have done this, that's a bit unusual for a bank robbery.
According to the Harris County Sheriff's Office, the three boys passed a threatening note to a teller at this Wells Fargo on the North Freeway and West Road. They were believed to be armed and got away with an undisclosed amount of cash. Once the surveillance photos were released, the sheriff's office says tips started coming in. Two of the boys' parents came forward. The third boy was handled by law enforcement and recognized. The sheriff's office says they recovered a weapon and a distinctive item pictured in one of the photos. They are charged with robbery by threat.
They are entitled to have a detention hearing almost immediately.
Mike Schneider is a retired juvenile district court judge.
I was thinking either this was very low in sophistication, or maybe an adult had something to do with this. This is not an uncommon thing because kids have punishment that's less severe. It's not uncommon for adult offenders to get them into to commit crimes.
Investigators will not say if the boys acted alone. Because they are minors, we are not identifying them. If the allegations are proven true, they could face probation or juvenile prison. Schneider says the goal is rehabilitation.
You would certainly want to have someone learn about these consequences before they're an adult.
Jessica Willey, ABC 13 Eyewitness News.
Well, turning to music now, Beyoncé unveils her Act II album cover and gives fans a closer look into the making of her new country album. On Tuesday, the singer shared that the highly anticipated album called Cowboy Carter has been in the making for 5 years. With the release of her song Texas Hold'em, Beyoncé is now the first black woman to hold a #1 single on the Hot Country Songs chart. The album is rumored to feature some surprises and collaborations with artists that the singer deeply respects. Cowboy Carter is set to be released on March 29th. And speaking of switching things up, McDonald's new concept restaurant Cosmax is now open in Dallas. None of its trademark burgers and fries will be served, but instead, the restaurant is a challenge to Starbucks, specializing in drinks, sandwiches, and snacks. This is the first location in Texas, and McDonald's says more locations are planned for the Dallas area in the coming months. Thanks for watching News 12 Now. Be sure to tune in to News 12 at 5, 6, and 10 tonight for a complete wrap of what happened today in Texoma and beyond. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful Weather Wednesday.